While we've spent decades mapping human DNA to solve aging, a more powerful biological clock may be running inside your gut bacteria. Researchers recently extracted the gut microbiomes from young, healthy mice and transplanted them directly into elderly mice. The physical results were immediate. This single procedure healed blood vessels, repaired severe brain damage, and completely blocked liver cancer. A fecal transplant acts as a biological reset for the entire body. We normally think of aging as a mechanical breakdown of parts, but biologists have identified a different biological driver of decay called dysbiosis. The gut microbiome coordinates the metabolic and immune signals that define health during youth. It acts as the primary coordinator for your body's systemic defenses. Over time, the environment shifts. Beneficial microbes like bifidobacterium crash and die off. As they disappear, toxic, highly inflammatory bacteria hijack the empty space. As these toxic bacteria take over, they release inflammatory signals that leak into the bloodstream and accelerate cellular decay system-wide. This led researchers to wonder, can we stop that systemic decay by simply restoring the original youthful bacterial profile? Scientists tested this by performing a 6-week fecal microbiota transplant, moving the biome of 8-week-old young mice into elderly mice. This chart details the chemical differences between those two biomes. The young microbiome is packed with specific bacteria that produce high concentrations of short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate and propionate. These molecules act as the primary repair mechanism for the host. As these new short-chain fatty acids flood the intestinal wall and enter the bloodstream, they trigger a cascade of chemical signals. This visual shows the aorta's protein analysis, proving youthful bacteria upregulates AMPK and SIRT1 anti-aging pathways. Once activated, vascular tissue relaxes properly, endothelial dysfunction reverses, and protective DNA telomeres lengthen. Repairing this vascular highway is the necessary first step. Once the blood vessels are restored, the benefits of the youthful update can reach the body's major organs. The next target was the brain. Researchers wanted to know if a gut transplant could repair neurological damage after a severe stroke. The gut and the brain communicate through a direct chemical link. Short-chain fatty acid messengers produced by the young bacteria enter the bloodstream and travel upward to directly impact the brain tissue. Once there, the microbes calm the brain's immune system. They specifically reduce the population of inflammatory gamma-delta T cells, halting the immune response that normally destroys healthy neurons after an injury. The behavioral results in mice matched the biology. Elderly mice with young microbiomes showed significant recoveries in their learning speed, their memory retention, and motor functions during mace tests. These gut microbes provide the essential chemical signals that dictate whether a brain can repair its tissue and preserve cognitive function. The power of this bacterial update was most clearly visible in the health and vibrancy of the liver. Inside our cells is a specific gene called MDM2. As the body ages, MDM2 levels rise, and this gene becomes a primary driver for the development of liver cancer. The researchers found that the elderly mice who received the youthful gut bacteria had suppressed MDM2 levels. The new microbiome forced the older liver cells to biologically mimic young tissue at the genetic level. By the end of the study, exactly 0 of the treated elderly mice developed liver cancer. Meanwhile, the untreated control group predictably developed tumors. The microbiome appears to arm the body's primary cancer defenses, shielding vulnerable organs from age-related mutations. These miracles are driven by a mechanism operating at the smallest possible scale, DNA methylation and the epigenetic clock. Scientists have trained advanced machine learning models to track this clock. The data suggests that the speed your cells age is dictated by the specific families of bacteria living in your gut. Certain strains of metabolism-boosting bacteria, like bifidobacterium, act as universal protectors. When they lock into the biological sequence, they prevent the DNA degradation that causes accelerated cellular aging. Repopulating the gut with these specific strains goes beyond symptom management. It appears to trigger a functional reversal of the host tissue's cellular age. The bacteria in our gut appear to be essential regulators of the epigenetic signals that keep these specific tissues young. The biological age of your own gut microbiome is determining how fast your entire body ages right now. While human clinical fecal transplants are still in development, cultivating a youthful gut by feeding those short-chain fatty acid-producing bacteria is the most effective biohack available. Viewing the gut as a primary driver of longevity changes how we approach the entire process of growing older. If you want to keep exploring the science that actually changes how your body works, hit the subscribe button.